Hi guys, I'm live. Um, this is a cool live to me. What I'm gonna do, um, it's cool to me. In like 1992 or something, after Harvey Mudd, my brain came up with three original thoughts in thought or knowledge or some kind of mathematical stuff. And I thought there might be one more I could do in my lifetime. And just on my walk yesterday, I figured it out. My fourth original thought. So I call these four things, I call them, because my last name is Wiseman, I call them Wiseman's theorem, Wiseman's formula, Wiseman's identity, and Wiseman's observation. I just came up with Wiseman's observation yesterday on my walk, and I like to show all four and just show that these are my original thoughts and what do you guys think and yeah, whatever. Okay, Wiseman's theorem is, here we go, right? There's something called geometrical numbers. I call them numbers that form a geometrical pattern. So there's triangular numbers like this, like 3, because there's 3 dots. So 3 would be a triangular number. 4 would be a square number, and a hexagonal number would be 13, because you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. You can make a hexagon out of 13 dots. And so 13 is a hexagonal number. That's not my original thoughts, that's just background. Okay, my first original Wiseman's theorem is, I've done this before in video, but I want to do it again. These first 3 I've done, the 4th one is new. Okay, so if you take a triangular number 9, which is I'm not triangular, square number. 9 is a square number because you have 3 by 3 in a square, make 9 dots. So you have 9. Okay, then you have the hexagonal number is 13, like I just said. You have a triangle there, and then an upside down triangle there. So it makes like a hexagon. And that's the number 13. So remember those 2 numbers. It's going to be important for this first theorem. For the first thing is the theorem, Wiseman's theorem, yes. So 9 and 13 come from a square number, and a hexagonal number. So that's where I started with, that's where I got 9 and 13. Now, so I'm going to write 9, and I'm going to write 13. Now, I'm going to multiply them by 3 and multiply them by 4. Each number is going to multiply by 3, and each number is going to get multiplied by 4, and we're going to see what happens. Well, first of all, 3 and 4, 3 is a triangular number, and 4 is a square number, like I just showed. So that's interesting, but not vital, but interesting. Okay, so first I'm going to multiply by 3, and then this by 3. And then I'm going to multiply by 4, and then by 4. So if you multiply 9 times 3, you get 27. 13 times 3 is 39. The total is 66. My question, I'm going to answer it if you get it or not. What is made up of, what thing has 27 parts, 39 parts, and total of 66? I'm going to give you guys like a second to think about it. If you haven't already seen my video, in which case, if you have, you already know. 27, 39, 27. 27 is the number of books in the New Testament. 39 is the number of books in the Old Testament. And 66 is the number of books in the Bible, that's interesting. Check it out. The Bible has 66 books, 6 and 6. 27 are New Testament, 39 are Old Testament, and that's the ratios. Now, I'm going to do the same thing except multiply by 4. This is Wiseman's theorem, by the way. No one thought of this but me, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I'm going to multiply both by 4. 9 times 4, 13 times 4. 9 times 4 is 36. 13 times 4 is 52. Total is 88. So instead of 66, it's 88. What thing has a small part of 36, a large part of 52, and a total of 88? I'll give you guys a second. Sorry if I'm boring you by giving you that much time. Thought? Okay. 36 is the number of black keys on the piano. And 52 is the number of white keys on the piano. And 88 is the total number of keys on a piano, a standard piano. So 36 black keys, 52 white keys, 88 total keys on the piano. So that's Wiseman's theorem, is that there's a duality between the number of books and the breakdown of the Bible, and the number of keys and the breakdown of the keyboard of a piano. Black, white, New Testament, Old Testament books is same ratio, is 66 and 27, 39, and black keys, white keys is on the piano is 3652, which is 88. So I think that's interesting. That's Wiseman's theorem. Now here's Wiseman's formula. I'm trying to do this quickly so you guys, I don't blow all your time away. The Pythagorean theorem is simple. It's x squared plus y squared. We're at 2 here. Plus y squared equals z squared. Okay, and that works for x, y, and z being 3, 4, and 5. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. 9 plus 16 equals 25. That's the Pythagorean theorem. We all learn that, at least those of us that do learn it in grade school or high school or whenever you learn it, I forget. But what I thought was, why not extrapolate that to 3 dimensions? Why does it have to be just squared, and why does it have to have just 2 variables and a third variable? I thought, what if x cubed plus y cubed plus z cubed could equal r cubed? In fact, the other one could have been x squared plus y squared equals r squared. I didn't have to put z. I think the first one could have been x squared plus y squared equals r squared. But this one, then I thought, what about x cubed plus y cubed plus z cubed equals r cubed? The squared thing only works for 2 dimensions. That only works for circles and squares and stuff like that. But this 3-dimensional one will work for spheres and cubes and things of 3 dimensions. And I thought, why not make that a theorem? And it does work, and it's a good theorem. I thought of it on my own, and I thought if the x squared plus y squared plus r squared works for 3, 4, and 5, what if 3 cubed plus 4 cubed plus 5 cubed equals 6 cubed? What if that were magically true? And what would that say about the universe or order or whatever? So I worked it out. If I remember right, 3 cubed is 27, 4 cubed is 64, 5 cubed is 125, and sure enough, that equals 216, which is 6 cubed. So that actually worked. It actually works for 3 dimensions. 27 plus 64 plus 125 equals 216. Quick check, yeah. And this is a 3-dimensional version of the Pythagorean theorem. And what I thought, let me write this 6 better, to make sure. Now I'm transparent with you guys, all right? I thought of this on my own, but to be sure or wonder if it had ever been thought of in history, I went to the Sprague Library in '92 of Harvey-Mudd College, and I looked to see if it had ever been in any of the books at Harvey-Mudd College Library. If it's at Harvey-Mudd College Library, if it exists, it should be at Sprague Library at Harvey-Mudd College. So I went to some floor, 3rd floor, whatever, Sprague Library at Harvey-Mudd College, and guess what I found? I found a medieval, like 1300s math book they had at Harvey-Mudd that had this formula: 3 cubed plus 4 cubed plus 5 cubed equals 6 cubed. But first of all, that was in the Dark Ages. That's the only time that I saw that formula. Second of all, I thought of it first, but just as importantly, it disappeared from history. I don't know if that was deliberate or accidental. I don't know why. If it were deliberate, I'm not sure why. Maybe because 6 cubed is 666, and people don't want to worry about 666. It's a biblical number. It's bad. It's marked beast. I don't know. But it turns out 3 times 3 times 3 plus 4 times 4 times 4 plus 5 times 5 times 5 equals 6 times 6 times 6. Maybe the church didn't want 666 being thought of, and so they didn't put this. They buried this formula, or maybe they just don't want people to realize how much order is in the universe. That there might be a mystical thing going on, because the chances of that being true in a random universe is very slim. I think it's very remarkable that that's true. Anyway, enough of that. That's Wiseman's formula. Now, this is Wiseman's identity coming, and then I'm going to do Wiseman's observation, which I just made yesterday on my walk. Wiseman's identity is that it turns out that 6 to the 5th power equals 7776. That's interesting. So 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 equals 7776. I was born on 12/6/66, and 12 could be 6 and 6 because 12 is 6 plus 6, and I was born on 6/66. So it ties my birthday perhaps a little bit, but I'm not going to go on about that. I have before. So there's that, but that's not the whole identity yet. What's interesting, obviously, from that, if you take 6 to the 5th power plus 1, it equals 7777. That's Wiseman's identity. I think that's interesting. It just is. 6 to the 5th power plus 1 equals 7777. So I think that's cool. And that's Wiseman's identity. Now, this is Wiseman's observation. I just got this on my walk yesterday. So this one is new information even for you guys. Even for YouTube, this is new information. I haven't done this yet because I just thought of it yesterday. I'm going to talk about playing cards. Cards. If I can even write, it might be good. Cards, playing cards, and tarot cards. Okay, there's an interesting relationship between the number of cards in each and this and that. Playing cards have 1 through 10, which is 10 cards, plus Jack, Queen, and King equals 13 different cards per suit. Not pursuit of happiness or pursuit of a villain, but per suit, for each suit. There's 13, and then there's 4 suits, which is Jack, Queen, King. Wait, no, that's not true. No, sorry, duh. Spades, clubs, diamonds, and hearts. So there's 4 suits. So you get 13 times 4 equals 52 cards. And most people know there's 52 cards in a deck of playing cards. So that's interesting. And notice that 52 is 13 times 4. 13 is the hexagonal number. Remember the hexagonal number is 13 and 4 is a square number. So what's interesting is that what you can do, if 13 times 4 is 52, what you can do is you can write 13 in a square, 4 13s in a square, like this. So you have 4 13s in a square pattern. And 13, 13, 13, and 13 plus 13 plus 13 plus 13 is 52. Number of cards in a deck of playing cards. Well, well, a lot of people know that, I think. They can figure that out, and oh, isn't that cool? But what I did yesterday on my walk is I also compared that and did it with tarot cards. So here we go. All the people that fear this, you can tune out or whatever. Fair enough for me. Tarot cards. Now in tarot cards, you also have 1 through 10, but then you have 4 others. You have, and I'm gonna write these because most people might not be as familiar. You have the Page, not Jimmy Page, but LOL, the Knight, and the King, and the Queen. So you have 4 others added to the 10, which plus 4 equals 14. Okay, as opposed to 13 with playing cards. And then you have also 4 suits, which are, let's try to write this cool. So there's 14. I can erase that now. And then there's also 4 suits, which are, let me do this right, cups, pentacles. In fact, let's write it up and down like I did this. No, wait, let's erase these because I need the room. So you have cups, pentacles, wands, and swords. So you also have 4 suits in tarot cards. Now, while I'm going on about this, cups is the element water. Cups is water. So I'm going to go water, water element. Pentacles is earth. Wands is air, and swords is fire. So those are the 4 elements also used in astrology. Astrology. Water, earth, air, and fire is cups, pentacles, wands, and swords. So so you have 14 per suit, like I said, not pursuit of happiness, times 4, which is let's see, what is that? 14 times 4. Yeah, 16, 1, 56. Now, those, so far you have 56 cards in tarot cards, but that's not, I'm not done yet, but that's just so far. So let's erase this. So these 56 cards, make a bit of 14 here. These 56 cards are called the minor, not mirror, dude, I can't even write sometimes. Minor arcana. Non-Trump, just not Donald Trump, but non-Trump cards. Minor being less than major, and arcana may refer to the word arcane, which means old, ancient, whatever. I'm not sure what that means, but those are the 56 cards in the minor arcana. So I'm going to write 56. 56. There's 56 in the minor arcana. Not okay, but now there's something called the major arcana. These are the Trump cards. No relation to Donald Trump. Okay. If you take the number of major arcana that I'm going to share in the minor arcana, you'll get the total number of cards in a tarot deck. Fair enough? Okay, the major arcana has 22 cards in it. And they're numbered from 0 to 21. So not 1 to 22, but 0 to 21. And they each have, they're each a character, like the Fool, the Temperance, whatever, you can look it up. They're the Trump cards, and there's 0 to 21, which is 22 of them. So, how many cards in a tarot deck? Total number of cards in a tarot deck is 56 plus 22, which is 78. Dude, man, can't even write. Now I can't erase. 78 cards in a tarot deck. 78, because it's 56 plus 22. Now, here's the interesting thing, or at least another interesting thing, better yet. The total number of tarot cards in a tarot deck, which I just explained how I get this number, is 78. 78 cards in a tarot deck. Now, why is this interesting? Well, there were 52 cards in a playing card deck, and 52 was 13 times 4. It was a 13, 13, 13, 13 in a square. And that made 52. But what's interesting about the number 78? I'll give you guys a second if you want to guess. Any ideas? Well, it turns out that 78 is 13 times 6. So instead of 13 times 4, and 4 is a square number, in playing cards, it's 13 times 6. And why is that furthermore interesting? First of all, they're both multiples of 13. But what's interesting, too, is that 6 is a triangular number. It's 1, 2, and 3. Make a triangular number. So 13 times 6 can be written as a triangle of 13s. Just like 52 could be written as a square of 13s in the playing card example. So 78 cards is 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. It's a triangle of 13s. So 13, 1, 2, 3, 13s make a triangle. And 13 plus 13 plus 13 plus 13 plus 13 plus 13 is 13 times 6, which is 78. So I think that's Wiseman's observation, all that. The fact that so I'm going to recap this. So 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, triangle number, 13 times 6 is 78. Cards in a tarot deck. So just to recap, in case, just for hearing it one more time, and then and then I'll be done. Playing cards, yeah, right. Cards is 13, 13, 13. I'm running out of room. That's why I'm running so small. Is 13, 13, 13, 13. A square of 13s. which is 13 times 4, which is 52. So there's that. Now with tarot cards, I'm almost done. Tarot cards. The total number is 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. A triangle of 13s. 1, 2, and 3. So 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. 13 times 1, 2, 3, 13 times 6. 13 times 6 equals 78. And that's the number of cards in a tarot deck. There you have it. That's Wiseman's observation. Love you guys. Peace, rock and roll. It was Wiseman's theorem, Wiseman's formula, Wiseman's identity, and Wiseman's observation. I now have 4th original thoughts I've added to knowledge. Love you guys. Peace, rock and roll.